What's going on, everyone? Today is Monday, August 21st. It's Eclipse Day, and unless you got your Eclipse sunglasses on, don't look at the sun, but I did, and right now the sun is about 50% covered by the moon from where I am, so that's cool. The peak time should be at around 10:10 or something like that, so a few more minutes. It's only going to get about 70% covered at the most, but still cool nonetheless. But anyways, pumpkins. So I cut off all the pumpkins. Everything started to turn color, so I just hacked it all off and hoping the plants sprang back to life, and they did. So let me show you guys my harvest so far. So not too bad. I got, these are the Lakota squash hybrid, whatever it is they crossed with, and then I got my two rouge right here. This one's still kind of orangish yellow. This one's more orange, but yeah, they started to turn color, so I just cut them off because I know they're not going to grow anymore. And these are my Connecticut fields. Give you a size comparison. So not bad. That's the biggest one. The fairy tales, smaller than last year's, but they set on much sooner than last year, so there wasn't as much leaf growth to support them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them grow for another 2 weeks or so, and then let no more than 2 pumpkins set on each fairy tale. That way I get 2 decent sized pumpkins out of it. These are my tomato clones. I gotta transplant them. But let's come over here and show you guys how the Big Max is doing, the second one. You can see this thing is freaking huge. The leaves are like African elephant ears. And I haven't been, the only thing I fertilize with is with the coffee grounds and my weekly application of fish emulsion, seaweed extract, black extract molasses. Yeah, and yeah, it's doing great. I mean, it got severely infested by was that leaf miners, but I still had some of that Captain Jack's dead bug brew that took care of them. But it's doing real good. Like I said, I'm hoping to get 1 pumpkin, even if it's not a monster, at least a 20-pounder. I'll be happy. Here's the patch so far. Let's come around over here. I'm gonna try to be quick on this video because I got stuff to do. But you can see that the plant growth is shooting out. This one had a pumpkin growing, about the size of a softball, but it was in a bad location, so I cut it off. And you can see there's another one right there. That one I might let set. It's in a good spot. Well, we'll see. I may just cut it off and just let the plant continue to grow for a little bit more. Got more growth coming over here. We got more growth coming over here. You can just see how fast it grows. I mean, it's just like it leaps and bounds. Stretches all the way over there. We got more of those Lakota squash hybrids. There's one there, there's one there, and I thought I saw another one around here somewhere, but guess not. Ooh, there's a rouge or a Cinderella that I gotta cut off, or it's kind of hard if I want to let it set or not. I've been battling the powdery mildew. I don't overhead water, but that stuff still shows up in force. I don't see some specks here, some specks over here. This one's had it the worst out of all the other pumpkin plants. But I'm amazed that these leaves are still nice and green, considering that they're 3 months old. I mean, that fish fertilizer must do wonders for them. That's the pumpkins, guys. Let me show you guys the tomatoes. the rats and the mice are both ganging up on the tomatoes, and they're just devouring them. I've lost maybe 2 dozen tomatoes to the little bastards. You know, I cut off about 10 tomatoes last night because they were just completely chewed up, and this morning I found more you know, up here. So I'm like, man, they're climbing the tomato plant and they're getting around the traps. I think they got wise to them. They're staying away from them. But that one, the red beefsteak, it's I gotta see if I can tie it up more because it's just falling real bad. But I've got 2 really thick stakes for support in there already. Cherokee Purple, its production is kind of winding down. I've been forced to take off the tomatoes much sooner than before they're ready because I don't want them to get eaten by the rodents. But you know, it is what it is. So there are my sun golds. This cherry tomato, you know, I decided to just let it go because it was a never-ending battle with aphids, and I'm just tired of fighting it with these guys. They just really like this plant for some reason. There's a black crim. So this one's kind of on its last legs too, but it's produced a lot of tomatoes. I made tomato soup out of these. And then I've got a bunch of big rainbows, which I'm trying to make salsa or something, obviously. And then the sun golds. Man, oh man, this thing continues to pump out the tomatoes. I mean, like, wow, they're so good, so sweet, and produce so many tomatoes. I'm definitely gonna be growing this one next year. I already ordered my seeds for next year, just so that I can have them ready. I'm gonna be planting more peppers, 2 different kinds of Italian peppers, sweet peppers. One called a habanada, so haba for habanero and nada for nothing. So I mean, it's has all the flavor of a habanero but no heat. And these are the other